The greatest achievement in any kind of sport is winning the belt. UFC belt has changed its layout, but the UFC champ is always respected, and it is undoubtedly the greatest warrior on the planet. I'm Vladimir, the Bulgarian Cowboy Vlad, and these are the top 7 potential UFC champions in 2022. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Number 7. ILIA TOPURIA. ILIA TOPURIA is fighting out of Alicante, Spain, but he is wearing both Spanish and Georgian flag, and he is a very patriotic fighter, the former MFE champion, who stormed the UFC upon his arrival. In his first fight, he really proved that his pressure fighting is everything he has. Great striker, great puncher, and in the first fight we've seen how dominant he was. Later he taught Joseph Zalal a lesson. Everybody were thinking that he was going to get submitted by Ryan Hall, but ILIA TOPURIA showed superb submission defense, and he is definitely one of the greatest potentials in the UFC, and I see him being the champ in 2022. Number 6. Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is a heck of a boxer and a great BJJ fighter, a BJJ black belt fighting out of England. And upon his arrival, he was very dominant in Cage Warriors, but then his debut, he defeated Jake Collier via stoppage, and he pieced up Alain Badou with seeing great performance. Also against Andrei Arlovsky, he was extremely dominant, and now Tom Aspinall is slated to fight Sergey Spivak, so we'll see what's going to happen, but I really see Tom Aspinall fighting for the belt, if not in 2022, then in 2023. Number 5. KHAMZAT CHIMAEV. KHAMZAT CHIMAEV is a great fighter out of Sweden, outstanding wrestler, and with extensive freestyle wrestling background. He trained with many great fighters, and upon his arrival into the UFC, he was extremely dominant against John Phillips, whom he pieced up pretty much quickly. And in the second fight against Rhys McKee, he showed why he is one of the greatest grapplers in the world. He switches between 185 and 170, but I really see that guy as a very dominant fighter. He also turned the lights out on Gerald Meerschaert, so it makes me think that he might take the belt in 2022. Number 4. GIGA CHIKADZE. GIGA CHIKADZE is one of the most legendary kickboxers. He fought in glory, and upon his arrival in the UFC, GIGA scored 4 back-to-back clean wins. And after that, we've seen one of the greatest head kick knockouts against Jamie Simmons. His prior victims were Brandon Davis, Jamal Emmers, Irvin Rivera, Omar Morales. He even stopped Cap Swanson via body kick and punches. Later, he showed that he knows to spin against Edson Barboza. It was one of the greatest kicks that he landed. He also finished the Brazilian brawler. And GIGA CHIKADZE is one of the greatest potentials. I really see him fighting for the belt, but I mustn't ignore ILIA TOPURIA in that weight class. Number 3. Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is the former combat sambo world champion, but he was in the shadow for a long time, defeating some regular guys. Khabib Nurmagomedov's teammate and student really showed some great skills. Against Arman Tsarukyan, we've seen that Islam Makhachev knows to throw kicks, and I see him as a modified and more perfected version of Khabib Nurmagomedov. He also holds notable wins over David Ramos, Drew Dober, and Islam Makhachev also outworked Thiago Moises, so he should be fighting a very big name next. Let's see whether he is going to reach belt status. Number 2. Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka is the all-time greatest mixed martial artist from Czech Republic, a former rising champ who really pissed up many fighters. Born in Kostraditsa, fighting out of Brno. The most perfect fighter in the world for me. Upon his UFC arrival, he turned the lights out on Volkan Ozdemir, despite Ozdemir rocked him on few occasions. Then he pissed up Dominic Reyes with an outstanding pressure and knocked him out cold with a spinning back elbow, one of the greatest moves in the history of this weight class. Jiri is the future champ, I guarantee you that. Number 1. Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is one of the most technical fighters in the division. He arrived in the UFC with only 3 fights, but that didn't stop him from the outstanding pressure and from great achievements. Ciryl Gane is a former Muay Thai champion of France, coached by Fernand Lopez. He is one of the most intelligent and the most technical fighters who have ever stepped inside the cage. In 265, he stopped Derrick Lewis in his last outing, so right now he is interim UFC champ. Hope we will see him fighting Francis Ngannou very soon. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so you never miss the video.